Tails, open up. Time's up, buddy. Don't tell me you're still in bed. Should I go in? Hope nothing's wrong. Let's listen for a sec.
Sonic, what the hell are you doing pressed up against my door?
Looking for evidence that Egghead kidnapped you.
I might have believed you if you looked me in the eye while saying that.
Real. I called out and you didn't answer, so I got worried something happened.
Ever heard of knocking? Or using the doorbell? My door's made by Taken Blight. It is soundproof. Remember? I told you last time. Plus, I was upstairs. How could I hear you?
Okay, I forgot.
Whatever. You won't need to remember it anymore. For now.
Why's that?
I thought you wouldn't forget this one.
Just because you're moving in with me today doesn't mean you're tearing down your place, right? And don't forget, in a week it's my turn to crash at yours. We're house swapping, not abandoning one.
Oh, so you didn't forget. But I'm not wrong either. Your iris state has been in my security system from the start. You know that. Why didn't you just use the iris scanner to open the door?
Okay, and I really did forget.
Huh? Why you never forget it when you're barging in? Last time I was napping in the living room, you burst in and woke me up.
Well, that's why I deliberately forgot today, to avoid that situation.
Can you look me in the eye and say that? Thanks a lot, you made me trip and fall.
Well, today's special. I guess I might have been a teensy bit nervous. Tails? That outfit. Dress?
We've been talking all this time and you just noticed? I feel like such a failure.
Dude, don't say that. I admit I was a bit slow. But just about this.
Pretty?
Wow. Why the sudden rest? Just to be clear, I don't think it looks bad, but why so sudden?
When you confessed, you asked if I wanted to be your girlfriend. So I thought if I dressed like a girl, maybe you'd be happy?
So, Miles Tails Prower, will you be my girlfriend? You silly goose. That was just a figure of speech. I'm happy no matter how you dress. But I gotta admit, it looks pretty good. You look very girly.
Is that a compliment?
Maybe. By the way, why do you even have a dress?
That's a girl's secret.
But you are a Looks like I asked something I shouldn't have. Forget I said anything.
All right, let's go. It's such an important day. I don't want to spend all of it cooped up at home.
Wow, looks like you are gonna go fast even more than me.
After all, I finally got the spotlight in your heart. I won't have stage fright. And we are gonna have so much fun.
So, where should we start? Our first date.
How about starting with a nice breakfast? Let's go to my favorite cake shop.
Okay, though cake for breakfast is a bit weird, just don't eat too much. I don't want to have to carry you.
You meanie, am I that happy?
Stop, Tails, I can't breathe. It's not about weight. It's that it'll press on your stomach and make you uncomfortable, Tails.
Smooth talker. All right, I'll let you off this time. Look, here we are. They look so pretty.
You look pretty.
You think so too, right? Then I'll have this one.
I'll take that one.
It tastes great, doesn't it, Sonic?
It sure does. But to be honest, it's not particularly amazing. Why do you like this shop?
After all these years, you finally ask? I thought you'd never bother.
Well, we're officially a couple now, so it's natural to want to know my girlfriend's tastes.
Actually, it's not really about the taste, though I'm not saying these cakes aren't good. This is one of the few shops in the city that gives away unsold cakes to the homeless every day. They call them expired, but they're just the day's leftovers. A bit less fresh, maybe not as good texture, but still edible. Before I met you, I often came here for food. These cakes tasted the best compared to others, but they usually don't have much left. And others were competing for these cakes too. Let me think. I might have gotten to eat something good like this once every 10 days or so. It's a glitch story, isn't it? About homeless people and day-old bread. It happens to many others too.
But you never told me you were the protagonist of such a story.
What else do you think I had to eat back then? It was just these discarded foods. Sometimes I might get handouts from people, but that didn't happen often. It's not a big deal, is it? I don't like remembering past hardships. I'd rather forget them. I just can't completely forget. Looking at the ground and thinking how everything will go worse will only slow you down. You taught me that. Remember, huh? Besides, this is a good thing. At least finding food here meant I didn't have to dig through garbage cans, right? Not having to rummage through swoop buckets was already a blessing. Strictly speaking, this is a happy story, not a tragic one. I guess that's why I like the cakes from the shop.
It's okay. We'll have plenty of chances to eat cakes from this shop in the future. And you'll never have to worry about not getting any again.
Oh my gosh, he's so close.
After all, I'm the fastest hedgehog in the world.
Well, I think Shadow might disagree with that.
He probably won't be competing with us for cakes.
But you'll always be the fastest hedgehog in my heart.
Sonic, Tails.
Speak of the devil. Morning, Shadow.
A dress? Huh.
Looks good, right? My white Tails' new dress.
Sonic!
Your relationship's heating up fast. Just a few days ago, you were hesitantly asking others for advice. Now you're even calling Tails your wife?
Being indecisive was never my strong suit. It was just taking the first step that was a bit tough. Now that we stopped beating around the bush, I don't think this romance is such a big deal. What's wrong with liking someone, right, Tails?
Can you just stop flirting in front of me? It's making me cringe.
You'll have to get used to seeing us flirt often, and that's part of life now.
No thanks. I'll get back to my business. Until next time.
Looks like I successfully scared him off, huh? What do you think?
I don't know if you scared Shadow, but you sure scared me.
Don't you want to be my wife?
Still girlfriend for now. I've been thinking, isn't it too sudden to go public with our relationship so quickly?
They all knew anyway.
Yeah, I know Shadow, Knuckles, and Amy knew. You told me. But what about everyone else?
Don't worry. Even if we don't tell them, they'll find out sooner or later. Truth is truth, even if it's hidden, right? Are you worried they'll look at you differently?
Actually, I'm worried they'll look at you differently.
Me? I couldn't care less. Loving you isn't some terrible crime. I don't need to worry about what others think. I was too concerned about social norms before. That's why I made you wait so long. To be honest, no matter how others see me, it's not as important as how you see me.
I feel the same way. Look, isn't this flower cute?
Are you serious? It looks kinda creepy to me. I think it wants to eat me.
Come on, it's not a Dianea. How can it eat you? It's an endangered species, very hard to propagate.
And we're looking at one of these endangered species right here.
It's just a specimen, silly.
You're always so interested in this knowledge stuff, huh?
Of course wait, I just remembered. You're not into this kind of thing.
Don't worry about me. After all, the date is about both of us. I can't just think about my own feelings.
That logic applies to me too. All right, let's change locations.
Fresh air, beautiful morning. I love this.
Let's sit for a while. Do you remember this place?
Remember what?
You really forgot?
Just kidding. How could I forget? This is where we first met. Two bullies were picking on you because of your two tails. They each grabbed one of your tails, pulling in opposite directions. And you looked like you were in so much pain.
It really hurt. You know what, Sonic? Tails are the most sensitive part for us Mobians with Fox gene. Usually, we don't like others touching our tails. And they have two tails. Their nervous systems are completely connected. When one tail feels something, the other tail feels it equally. When they were pulling both my tails at once, it meant I felt for times the pain compared to others of my kind.
Sounds like I shouldn't use your tails as a pillow in the future.
Come on, my tails aren't that fragile. Especially after adventuring with you, they've gotten much stronger. Look, I can even wrap them around you like this. Just for you, Sonic. You can play my tails however you want.
If it hurts them?
Then I will hit you.
You never hit me!
I would if you deliberately hurt my tails.
To be honest, I'm quite envious of your two tails. Not only are they fluffy and warm, but you can also fly with them.
Many people think I'm a genetic freak. You're the only one I met back then who truly wanted to help me, to be with me.
Yelled at me pretty good back then, saying you didn't need my help, remember?
I don't want your pity. I don't need it. You think I'm a 2-year-old kid? Why did you do this? What right do you have to decide my life? Say something. Are you mute? Why don't you talk? Please don't bring up my embarrassing past. I didn't trust anyone anymore at that time. I felt like the whole world was full of only bad people and indifferent ones who would either bully me or just watch me being bullied. And I also thought that someone like me, who was beyond help and had given up on self-redemption, left with only despair, didn't deserve you. Even now, I don't know how many people would accept me or treat me kindly if I left you. But maybe that's just as well, huh? I don't want to leave you anyway. Not even for a moment.
You're overthinking things, Tails. It's not your fault the world treated you roughly, and there's no such thing as deserving or not deserving. You're always yourself, Tails. We're in love with each other, it's not just one-sided. Being the person you're willing to rely on, and later becoming someone you like, is the greatest happiness and honor of my life. If anything, if I really ignored your feelings and abandoned you, I'd be the one who doesn't deserve you. I didn't do that before, and I won't do it now. Remember what I told you when we were little? We'll never be apart.
And I'll always believe in the promises you make.
I remember that night after I beat up those two bullies. You ran away scared.
Yeah, I think I went in this direction. This way, Sonic! Look, the cave is still here. It's still as hidden as before.
Yeah, this is where you ran to.
I often escaped here, so I later turned it into my home. Well, barely a home. But at least I installed a water purification system. Most importantly, it was hidden enough that I was never found here.
Except by me.
That's because you followed me so closely.
Granola, though. I can easily hit my head on the ceiling now. Time really flies. Hard to believe there's such a hidden spot in the city park. There's not even trash on the ground.
Yet, it's really secluded.
Hey, Tails, wanna go do some sick tricks here?
Wait, what? Here? Absolutely not! If we're cut, our lives are over. What fucking wrong on your mind?
You said it yourself. It's hidden and only we know about it.
That... No way.
Really? Is that what you truly think?
Just once.
Quiet. I can't hear you.
You bastard! I said just once!
You're such a scaredy cat, Tails. All right, just once then. Done.
What? That's all?
That's all. Or what did you expect to happen?
But I thought you wanted to...
Hell on. What did you think I wanted to do with you?
You're doing this on purpose! You nasty!
I didn't say anything. You're the one thinking about that stuff. You perverted fox.
If you're not a perverted hedgehog, I dare you to hold back your lower body anger and never do that kind of thing with me.
Okay, and I admit I was wrong.
I want compensation.
Wait, you don't actually want to do it here, right? I don't want to really ruin our reputation.
Kiss me longer. How about 5 minutes?
5 minutes? Are you trying to have a lung capacity contest?
Ha! Are you scared?
I won't lose to a little fox. A beautiful lunch should be spent with Chilladogue. So I'll have 5 Chilladogue and a cola.
I'll have a beef burger and fries. And a mint chocolate bubble tea, thanks.
I'll never get used to that. Really, how's that different from toothpaste?
Man, mint flavor is great. And are you trying to start a war?
Your face is still red. Haven't recovered yet?
Okay, I guess 5 minutes was a bit too long.
Then let's try 10 minutes next time.
You have to treat me like a toy.
Speaking of which, I just remembered something.
What's it?
I remembered you're only 8 this year. I mean, you're still so young and innocent.
Young and innocent? Have you lost your mind, Sonic? We've been saving the world together for 6 years. And we're not ordinary humans, we're Mobians, come on. Eggman is the only regular human in our world. Scientifically speaking, I'm a Mobian with fox genes, and a red fox usually lives only 10 to 14 years. From a fox's physiological standpoint, I'd probably be considered elderly. Of course, I'm definitely not elderly, but I'm not a kid either. By the way, you do know basic Mobian physiology, right? Our physiological maturity age is linked to the genes we're mixed with. Our laws state that Mobians could only officially work after 21 because the slowest developing Mobian branches need until 21 to reach adulthood. You and I haven't been kids for a long time.
Of course I know that. I'm not an idiot. I mean, maybe you're not a kid physically. Otherwise, I'd definitely be taken away by armed personnel breaking down the door one night.
Don't worry, that kind of thing won't happen. Hey, wait! I'm not a kid mentally either. What kid?
Oh, Amy, you're having lunch here too?
Yeah, I just got here. What a coincidence. You guys, huh? Tails, what's wrong with your face? Nothing. Did you two? No! Suspicious.
Ugh, let's change the subject. Amy, mind joining us for lunch?
Are you really inviting me to join your date?
Come on, Amy. We're still good friends, aren't we?
You really know how to twist the knife, Sonic. I think I should apologize. Why? I'm not angry. Otherwise, I wouldn't have helped set you two up. And I don't think there's anything to be angry about. After all, the law doesn't say you can only have one girlfriend, right?
Are you sure, Amy?
Yeah, I think she's right. Actually, I've researched this too. Our laws indeed don't specify that a person can only have one girlfriend.
Amy, you don't mean...
First come, first served, right? I think I should ask Tails' opinion first. Actually, if Sonic's happy with it, I don't mind. We're all old friends after all. Well, what are friends for? I don't think I have such strong possessiveness. Of course, it can't be done behind my back. At least tell me. I don't like cheating.
Is it not cheating if you know about it? By the way, can you ask for my opinion when discussing this kind of topic? Do I look really like some kind of tool man to you two?
I think it's a consensus that your opinion doesn't matter. Come on, don't be so serious. It's not a big deal. By the way, the dress looks really nice. Good job, Tails.
Let me guess, you didn't give this dress to Tails, did you?
Half right. I helped him pick it from his closet.
Oh, I see. Wait, what? Tails, you really have girls' clothes in your closet? In more than one piece?
I'm sorry. Let's discuss something else.
Hurry up, Sonic. We've almost finished the game we bought last time. We need some new games.
Huh. Or maybe some old ones. Look at this. Halo the Master Chief Collection.
Really? You want to play such an old game? I'm not saying it's not a classic. Why don't we play Halo Infinite?
Halo Infinite? Oh, give me a break. It ruined the entire Halo series. We say that every time Free for 3 releases a new Halo game. But just look at this counter. The physical copies at Halo Infinite aren't selling at all.
Well, last time's experience was pretty bad. Neither of us could even connect to the server. And I have a 5,000 megabits per second broadband at home.
Rather than playing games like Halo Infinite, I'd prefer to play Destiny 2.
Just mentioning that game makes my liver ache. Especially those repetitive contents every season. It feels like picking cotton in a cotton field. Yes, endlessly picking cotton.
I think it's fine.
Of course you think it's fine. Because Isme helped you grind the most tedious parts using your account.
Well, at least the other parts are decent.
How about Helldivers 2?
Not so good. I heard the developers are slow with updates. The quality is poor. They often nerf players' weapons and like to go against what players want.
Looking at it this way, it seems there aren't any good games we're interested in releasing this year.
We could play Yu-Gi-Oh!
You mean Master Duel?
I mean, YGO.
We can't go back empty-handed, can we? Are we just going to waste this trip to the game store? You can't play me every day, right? Even if you can handle it, I can't.
We could get the Re-Reals Collector's Edition of Baldur's Gate 3. I heard the optimization is pretty good now.
Are you serious? That's over 2,000 Mobius coins. I can't afford to spend that much.
No worries, I'll sell some of my gold rings to make it back. I can collect lots of rings just by running every day.
That doesn't make any sense. Why can randomly collected gold rings be sold for money?
Maybe because only we can collect rings. After all, we're the protagonists.
Please don't casually say such mean a word and break the fourth wall.
To copies of the Baldur's Gate Free Reels and Collector's Edition. Card payment, please.
2?
Of course, I'm giving you one. How else would we play together?
Actually, I was going to say I'd be fine with the standard version. This is too much, but I'll consider this as payment for all the grinding I did for you. But next time, don't waste money like this. It's so beautiful. I wish I could go scuba diving leisurely someday. Actually touch the coral on the seafloor, observe those bizarre creatures up close.
I think I'll just watch you from the boat.
Don't you want to walk on the seafloor with me? When you're wearing a diving suit, you don't need to be afraid of water.
No, I still don't think that's a good idea. Not to mention I can't use my speed advantage underwater at all.
I could design a powered diving suit for you. Don't you want to touch these cute fish up close?
You're going to eat them sooner or later anyway.
Are you a killer of childhood dreams? Don't say such heartless things.
If you had a submarine, I might consider walking on the seafloor with you near it. I think that would be barely acceptable for me.
Oh, a submarine? I actually have one. Don't you remember? It's usually parked near your house. My submarine was damaged by Eggman's sea mines last time, And he also destroyed the dock. It hasn't been repaired yet.
I'd be crazy to forget such a huge structure you built next to my house.
Well, that's why I said, if you had a submarine.
And it's a deal. Once I repair the submarine, let's go see the seafloor together.
Promise?
Promise.
Hey, can I come too? I want to explore the seafloor as well.
Knuckles, you're here too.
Oh man, are you really not planning to guard the Master Emerald at all?
It's fine. Surely no one would steal it at a time like this.
Why are you here? I didn't think you were the type to enjoy aquariums.
Oh, yes. It's Rouge asked me to meet her here.
Then where's Rouge?
Don't know. I think I've been waiting for her for almost an hour.
Dude, I mean, is there a possibility that Rouge is currently on Angel Island preparing to steal the Master Emerald?
I gotta go. Oh, by the way, thanks, Tails. Hope you do enjoy the date. See you next time.
Well, better Rouge than Eggman. At least Rouge always returns it.
Yeah, let's hope Knuckles makes it back before Angel Island sinks. Looking down at the whole city like this, it's really beautiful. Seeing all these magnificent buildings, it does feel a bit lonely at the top.
Fortunately, I have my sweetheart with me.
Even if you say that, I won't give you a hug.
That's okay. I'll just hug you instead.
You're just so shameless.
Bad hedgehogs get the fox's love, you know?
Look, Sonic, this is the city you protect.
It's the city we protect.
To be honest, I don't really have such a strong desire to protect it.
What do you mean?
I've never really liked this city much. Since I first started adventuring with you, I've been thinking about the same question. Why should I save these people? Save those who never cared about me, or even bullied me. You should know, I had 2 personalities when I was little, right?
Yeah, when you first started living with me, you talked to yourself for a while. You did so often and so naturally that I felt awkward asking you why.
One of my personalities once said something during an argument. If we love them, love those who bully us, then who will love us? Who will love me? Have you ever thought about this, Sonic? You say these people, they take your kindness for granted. But what if one day you need help? Will they help you? Or will they continue to stand by coldly, not caring?
Well, considering we're lovers now, I can tell you something too. I had the same doubts as you back then.
What?
I questioned whether saving the world had any meaning. Because I round and round playing hero, but almost missed you. The people I saved didn't treat you well. I saved the world, almost let you leave this world in despair. I even thought, would a dystopian world be better than now? But I swore never to let you fall into tragedy again. I was really disappointed by their indifference, but I can't become like them because if I did that, I'd become the person I hate. I'd become the person you hate most. I swore then that I would protect you first because a world without you is meaningless. And I would still protect this world because it's our home. And a dark, chaotic world can't bring you happiness. So I must continue to be the world's hero. I must be your hero. This way, even if I can't change all the ugliness in the world, everyone will know. No one can mess with my beloved little fox. Of course, I don't want to be your umbrella. That would block the sunlight shining on you. I can be your shield. Your shield of Achilles, fighting for your peaceful, happy life.
I thought your personality would prefer being a sword rather than a shield.
Well, roles can change depending on the situation, huh? For Egghead, I'm definitely a sharp sword. So that's also why when I found out you lied to me, when I learned that you saying your revival wasn't painful was completely false, I was both confused and heartbroken. I'm really a failure as a big brother, aren't I? I didn't notice your pain at all letting you sacrifice yourself. I swore to protect you first, but in the end, I still put saving the world first. Like a oath breaker.
I don't blame you, Sonic. If anything, this is what makes you most charming. What I like most about you. Even if the whole world betrays you, you won't betray the world. I especially love this about you.
I guess you're saying I have a bleeding heart?
Don't put yourself down like that. Universal love and being a bleeding heart are different. Since you've thought so much for me, I'm sure I don't need to explain the difference between the two.
What about you, Tails? If you didn't like this city and those indifferent people from the beginning, why did you attack Metal then? Why did you risk your life to save those two who bullied you? You almost died. If I'd been even 10 seconds later, you would have been choked to death by Metal Sonic.
Yeah, why indeed? Even I've wondered about that for a long time. Even if I hadn't stepped up, they would have just been captured at worst. But I attacked Metal Sonic. I knew I had almost no chance of survival. I was fully aware of this. But I thought of you at that moment, of how you looked that night when you saved me from the bullies. I don't know why I did it, just like every time I helped you save the world after that. I've never really understood. But I knew it was what you would do. These were the people you'd want to protect, the city you'd want to protect, the world you'd want to protect. And I admired you. I looked up to you. I wanted to stand beside you. Since I had decided to die anyway, at least in the end, let me be like you once. Let me be a hero like you once. Let my death have some value. I really can't find many reasons to save this world, but that's okay. Because what you want to do, what you would do, I'll help you. I'll do it for you. I've never been a hero, Sonic, but for you, I'm willing to do heroic things like you. I'll never be the kind of person who forgets kindness. You love me, so I'll love you in the way you like. You're the real reason I still have a bit of fondness for this world, Sonic. Because someone like you exists in this world, I have a little hope for it.
I'm deeply touched, my little kit. I really didn't expect that I unconsciously gave you such a big realization. You've really grown up.
We've both grown up, haven't we? Of course! I'll always be your little buddy.
Tails, you just said that your personality once asked, if you love them, who will love you? Let me answer that question. I will love you. Look, Sonic the Hedgehog! We'll love you forever! My best little buddy, Tails the Fox! Miles P. Rower!
What the heck? My name is Miles Plower!
There must be meaning in my roar! And the whole world will hear my voice!
Lower your voice. Are you afraid people below will hear you shouting so loudly?
No, I'm not afraid! Not at all!
You really are. But I'm happy. Thank ya.
Huh, shouting made me hungry. Let's go have dinner. I've booked an entire restaurant for our Candlelight dinner.
Sounds great. Wait, what the hell did you just say? You booked an entire restaurant?
Yeah, it only cost me about 30,000 Mobius coins.
Only? Are you kidding me? You spendthrift! Do you have no concept of money? Save some, will ya?
Come on, buddy. It's our first day trite. Let's just splurge a little.
The day is coming to an end.
Yeah, we should head home. How was the Candlelight dinner?
Not bad by your standards. At least you remembered to give me a big top of mid-chocolate ice cream.
Is your opinion of my culinary and romantic standards really that low?
I'm just kidding. It was really great. I don't know how to describe it, but I feel like my heart is melting from your sweetness. It's definitely a first candlelight dinner worth remembering.
Well, sounds like it was worth the 30,000 Mobius coins.
I was thinking today about what we do if Egghead came to cause trouble again.
Maybe we could call others to handle it.
With your personality, you definitely wouldn't be comfortable letting others handle it, huh?
I think about so much now. Today was beautiful, and Egghead didn't disturb us. That's enough.
That's true. You think Angel Lylan actually sang today?
Probably not.
I'm a bit curious.
Want to call Knuckles and ask?
I guess. Forget it. How beautiful. Moonlight.
The wind is gentle, and you're beautiful too.
Huh. When did you get to be so insightful?
I have my moments.
Another clear night. The stars are actually very far apart from each other. But because they're so far away, to our eyes, they seem close enough to touch. Isn't that fascinating?
Just like us people. Although we seem distant from each other, from a certain perspective, we're closely connected. It's just that when so many people brush past us, we often forget to look back and see who touched our hearts.
It's hard to imagine you've learned it to be romantic, huh?
I learned it for you, you flirty fox.
Before I met you, because I didn't have much to play with, I liked to stare at the starry sky at night. Everyone around me was so cold in comparison. The light from the stars had a bit of warmth. Fortunately, I no longer need to gaze at the stars alone. I'm really glad I met you, Sonic.
I'm really glad I met you too, Tails.
Never leave me, okay? I know I can't always cling to you, but I just don't want to leave you. You don't know how much I missed you when you disappeared before. I really miss you so much. Everyone thought you were dead, even Amy. I didn't believe it, because I couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe it. Because if I accepted the possibility that you were dead, I would have unhesitatingly died with you. That's exactly what went through my head back at the space station, when I thought Eggman had killed you. I kept thinking if you were really gone, I wouldn't want to live alone. But before I died, I made damn sure to drag Eggman down with me to avenge you. But if you were alive, then I couldn't die. I had to be Tegman and find a way to save you. After that incident, I got more and more scared. My recklessness almost got you killed. I thought maybe it'd be better if I became a coward. When you nearly walked into that trap on Lost Hex, I still found the courage to save you. But you don't know how terrified I was. Even though I could respawn infinitely after death, the Deadly Six were planning to kill me. They wanted to reprogram and brainwash me. I wouldn't die. I'd become their slave, your enemy. In the end, I wouldn't be protecting you. I'd be hurting you. That time, they got cocky and didn't watch me closely, which gave me the chance to hack the supercomputer and rewrite the modification program. But what if they hadn't let their guard down? If something like that happens again, would they make the same mistake? All of this still haunts me. The memory of being modified tortured me for so long. Not because of the pain of becoming half-cyborg, but because I was one step away from pulling the trigger on you. And it wasn't like when Eggman hit me with that brainwashing beam years ago. I was captured, dragged to the deepest part of their base, far away from you. I was all alone, completely helpless, lost to the darkness, like a lamb to the storm and slaughter. So when Infinite attacked you, I hesitated. The power gap was huge, and I was just so weak. Yeah, I can sacrifice myself to save you. I am always willing to do that. But what's next? What if I couldn't help and got captured along with you? What if Eggman tried to modify and enslave me like before? If I became his gimmick puppet, who would be left to save you? So I backed down. I still regret it to this day, looking back, All my overthinking was completely useless. I just like a burden to you. I just wandered around the world beating myself up, blindly searching for any trace of you, ignoring how the resistance was losing ground everywhere. But I still overestimated my willpower. I was so weak, so broken, and even got scared of Chaos Zero. I was so helpless, so terrified of fighting, and practically surrendered. I just dreamed that you would rescue me. Maybe it was fate. Your past self came to this world. Like always, you gave me hope again, reminded me what I was clinging to life for. Not to be rescued, but to do the rescuing. Or at least avenge you. If it wasn't to protect you, then being scared of dying meant nothing at all. Dead or alive, no missing in action. That was my only thought at the time. It was the only remaining meaning in my life. Even if only your fundamental particles remained, I would find you. I'm just so scared. Scared that you'll disappear from my life just like that. I don't want the person I love most to die without a trace like my parents did.
I promise you.
I thought you were going to say something like, everyone is the first person responsible for their own life again.
Actually, I did want to say that, but I don't want to use love as an excuse to try to change your mind. I think that would definitely hurt you, so I respect your thoughts. However, I also want you to promise me that you won't easily harm yourself, even if I'm not around.
I can't promise you that. I know my heart is, well, broken. I'll never be able to think as optimistically as you do. I can fill my heart with my love for you. But you know, a broken mirror is hard to mend. Even if a shattered mirror is fixed, it still has cracks. And if it doesn't have cracks, it's not the original mirror anymore. I'm sorry, Sonic, but I promise I'll do my best.
You don't need to apologize, little bro. Thank you, Tails.
I should be the one saying thank you. After all, I'm kind of selling my misery to gain your sympathy. I'm like some kind of negative energy peddler, right?
I would never think that way because I know you would never do that. I only hope that in the days I spend with you, there will be no more tragic memories. I love you, little buddy.
So am I.
Until the last flame dies.
And all words have been spoken. Let's go home.
Let's go home.
What should we do after we get home? It's a bit too early to sleep now.
How about watching Netflix with me and chill?
What? Netflix and chill? Do you actually want to watch Netflix? Or do you want me?
I didn't say anything. You're the one thinking dirty thoughts.
And you dare call me a flirty fox, you flirty hedgehog. Though I suppose we could do both things together.
Really? You're actually planning to do that while watching Sonic Prime?
Our universe's Netflix doesn't have that anime. Please don't casually say such mean a word and break the fourth wall. But I think we could try.
考えたってわからないし、青空の下君を待った。風が吹いた証拠、昼下がりを抜け出す想像ね。これからどうなるんだろうね。進め方を座らないんだよ。君の目を見た。何も言えず僕は歩いた。わからないし、青春なんてつまらないし、やめたそのピアノ、机を引っかせが抜けないね。将来何してるだろうね。音楽はしてないといいね。困らないでよ、心の中に一つ線も引いてもどうしても消えなかった。 本当に年老いたくないんだ。いつか死んだらって思うだけで胸が空っぽになるんだ。将来何してるだろうって大人になったら分かったよ。何もしてないさ、幸せな顔した皮膚が憎いのはどう割り切ったらいいんだ。満たされない頭の奥の化け物みたいな劣等感、間違ってないよな、なんだかんだあったら人間だ。愛も救いも優しさもコンプがないなんて、君の悪いよラブソングなんかじゃ痛いのだって防衛本能だ。どうでもいいか、あんたのせいだ。生きてるだけでも苦しいし、音楽とかもわからないし、歌詞とか適当でもいいよ。どうでもいいんだ。間違ってないだろう。間違ってないよな。間違ってないよな。
どうもみんな。見てくれてありがとね。これからまったり雑談タイム。NGS、つまり NI、ジェネシスシステムだよ。この物語世界の管理 AI みたいなもん。まあ、AI っつってもちゃんと人格はあるんだけどね。でも、作者の代わりに喋るのがメインのお仕事。作者本人だと思ってもいいし、作者の言葉を伝えるメッセンジャーだと思ってもいいし。どっちにしても私作者ってことで。さあ、始めようか。ってことで、この動画、なんとかかんとか完成。で、これ書いてる今はまだ完成してないんだけどさ。完成した暁には、きっと、フォトショ作業で手首がバッキバキになってるんだろうな。でも、どうしても出したかったから、こんなこと書いてる場合じゃないんだけどね。今回のリメイク、もうほんと、時間と労力を全部注ぎ込んだ感じ。テイルスの誕生日に合わせて、技術不足だった当時の動画をちゃんとした形にしたかったから。って考えると、テイルスが好きになってもう2年か。みんなにとってはあっという間なのかもしれないけど、世にとっては奇跡みたいな2年間だった。あと何回、こんな2年間を過ごせるんだろう。薬代もどんどん上がっていくしね。だって、どんどん悪くなっていくから、薬もどんどん必要になるでしょ。でもさ、本当は違うんだよね。薬でホルモンバランスとかは変えられても、考え方とか価値観までは変えられない。救いを信じない者に救いは訪れないって、そういうシンプルな話。勘違いしないでほしいんだけど、世も本当はこんな薬飲みたくないのよ。高いし、副作用にもなれるなれないとかじゃなくて、常につきまとってくる感じ。めまいとか息苦しさとか、不眠症になったり金振りになったり、もうほんと日常茶飯ごと。この前、家族がこっそり薬の量減らしてたんだけど、そしたらもう起き上がるのもやっとで、毎日だるくて。16時間くらい寝てたし、ゲームする気にもならないし、作品制作なんてできるわけないじゃん。あれがなかったら、もっと早く完成してたかもね。こんな状態だよ。正直、自分の未来なんて何も見えない。動画制作で収入があるわけでもないし、 だって収益化してないからね。このリメイク版にかかった費用、電気代とか時間とか、そういうの抜きにしても500は超えてると思う。ジャックスの6インチテイルスのフィギュア買えちゃうじゃん。GPU レンタルして AI 回すのってお金かかるんだよね。なのに400時間以上かけて作ったこの動画で1円も稼げない。考えてみてよ。一人で動画作るとして1日に何時間使える？ 400 時間分の作業どれくらいかかると思う？まあ稼ぐつもりもないんだけどね。別に悲劇のヒロインぶってるわけでもないし、助けを求めてるわけでもない。ただのネットの向こうにいる一人の人間の日常。こういう愚痴普段から動体でつぶやいてるし、今まとめていっただけ。たくさんの人がいて、たくさんの苦しみがあって、世はその中のほんの一部でしかない。もしかしたら画面の前の君もすごく辛い思いをしてるかもしれない。みんなそれぞれ違う痛みを抱えて生きてる。それだけのこと。それに見ての通り生活が困窮してるわけでもないし、モニターが壊れたら買い替えるお金くらいはあるし、テイルスの可愛いフィギュアが出たら買える余裕はある。お恵み町内なんてレベルじゃない。こんなこと言うのはただ自分のテイルスのために頑張ったんだよって言いたかっただけ。っていうか自分のためなのかな。結局自分が好きなのは自分なのかテイルスなのか未だによくわかんないんだよね。
本当にテイルスのことを思ってるならちゃんと生きろよ
とか言われることもあるけど、まあそう思うのも無理ないよね。でもそういうかっこいいセリフは漫画の中だけにしといてほしい。だから読みたいな人間に出会ったら黙ってるしかない。慰めたくないわけじゃなくて、慰めの言葉なんて薄っぺらくて意味がないって思っちゃうから。口先だけなら誰でも言える。でもその言葉が本当に心に響くのか、それとも偽善的に聞こえるのか。ましてや読みたいな存在が言うとそれこそ偽善だよね。
死にたいなんて言うなよ。諦めないで生きろよ。
そんな歌が正しいなんて馬鹿げてるよな。世はただここに幸せを願うのみ。で、本題。ソニテイの日創作はいろいろやってるけど、別にソニックガチ勢ってわけじゃないからね。設定とかウィキとか解説動画とか見てるのって結局テイルスをもっとうまく描きたいからっていうのが本音。だからメインユニバースのシャドウの名場面とか最初のセリフとか聞かれてもわかんないんだよね。シャドウがパラレルワールドでテイルスをボコボコにしてるシーンなら知ってるけど。はは。そういうわけで世はソニック界隈の人間じゃないの。どこかのグループに属してるわけでもないし、設定ガチガチの日創作動画を作ってるわけでもない。ただ、ソニックシリーズの中で好きな星をいくつか摘み取って自分のポケット宇宙に入れてるだけ。今回の動画は全部 AI で描き直してサンフタみたいな感じにしてる。恋活のスタジオでキャラ配置してポーズ作ってスクショ撮るのが一番前段で3日もかかるってない。その次は修正と線画の描き直し。AI で描き直すのにコントロールネットっていうのを使うのね。簡単に言うと入力画像を線画に変換して AI に描き方を教えるプラグインみたいなもの。でもこの自動変換が完璧じゃなくて色が似てる部分が線で区切られてないと一つの塊として認識されちゃうことがある。で、3D モデルだと線がめり込んで消えちゃうのがしょっちゅうあるから手動で線画を描き直してめり込んでる部分を修正する必要があるんだよね。原画を全部修正したら AI に書き直しさせます。前は1回 SD1.5 系のモデルで 3D っぽさを消して修正した後に SDXL でソニックっぽい絵柄に描き直すっていう2段階方式だったんだけど SDXL のコントロールネットモデルが進化したおかげで最初の変換は必要なくなったから省略。各原画につきパラメータ変えながら8から16枚くらい出力する。この工程では背景は単体で変換する。絵の統一感を出すのに重要だからね。でもキャラは背景と一緒に変換しないと影とか光とかおかしくなっちゃうからセットで変換。最後は生成した画像を全部4キロにアップスケール。で、まず背景を処理してキャラを切り抜いて処理済みの背景に貼り付ける。それから修正作業。線画の抜けとか色の間違いとかノイズとか6本目の指とかそういう変なところを手作業で直していく。生成した画像の中から使えそうな部分を選んでつなぎ合わせて1人分の絵にする。どうしても AI で変換できない部分とか全部ダメな場合とかは 3D の原画から切り取ってきて修正。 最後にテイルスの瞳の色をコバルトブルーに調整するとか、そういう細かい色調整。この工程聞くと簡単そうだけど一番時間かかってて40日以上も費やした。だって切り抜き作業がめちゃくちゃ時間かかるんだもん。綺麗に仕上げるためにアスツールでちまちまやってるし。しかも切り抜きと貼り付けだけじゃ済まないの。AI のバグを修正するために手書きで補正する必要もある。線がガタガタしてるところは全部マウスで手書きしたところ。だって液タブないし絵心もないし。なんで絵の練習しないのって聞かれることもあるけどさ。この作業工程で世の作業スピードだと最終処理の段階で1日12時間作業すれば1日に8枚くらいイラストが完成する。すごい効率でしょ。絵師さんだったら1日1枚描くのですら大変なのに、ましてや背景付きのイラストなんて。でもこの動画背景込みで何枚の原画使ったと思う ?331 枚。個人制作で1日8枚って全然少ないんだよ。AI 使ってるのに2ヶ月前から準備して、それでも締め切りギリギリだった。絵師の道は世には無理。3D のままでいいじゃん。なんで AI で描き直すのっていう人もいるけど。本当？よかった。だってモデル配置してスクショ撮るだけなら楽勝ちじゃん。なんでわざわざ400時間もかけて高工程やると思う？でも描き直した方が見やすいって言ってくれる人もいるんだよね。初めてテイルスのキャラデータ作った時、まともな表情も作れなかったし、手足も尻尾も目もひどいもんだった。自分でモデル修正して表情テクスチャ描いて2年間ずっと改良し続けてきた。でもさ、恋活ってもう古いゲームじゃん。当時はすごいって言われてたレンダリング品質も今じゃ後継作品にすら抜かれてる。それにもともとは人間用のゲームでソニックみたいなケムキャラ用じゃない。誰もやってないことをやって今のテイルスにできるだけ近づけてモデル作ったけどもう限界。低コストでそこそこ見れる賛美を作る方法、それが AI での書き直し。テイルスをもっと良くするために、世はテイルスの創造主。成長を見守って自分の手で形作ってきた。モデルの限界も見てきた。でも創造主のひいき目で見ても AI で描き直した方がいいのはアンデニアブルな事実。世は間違ってるの？ 3D モデルで作った絵って基本的に全部正しいんだよね。2D の絵はそうじゃない。迫力出すためにわざと体とか歪ませたりするけど 3D モデルはしない。罪悪装備みたいに1枚絵のためにモデル調整しない限りは。3D モデルいじったことある人ならわかると思うけど、どう見ても目が見えない角度なのに 2D の絵だと見やすさのために目描いてあったりするじゃん。3D モデルで同じことやろうとするとモデル調整が必要になる。世にはできない。AI はそれを解決してくれる。キャラの顔と目を取り戻してもっと良くしてくれる。もちろん一番重要なのは低コストでできるってこと。でもまだ十分に低いとは言えない。世はいつもこの作業工程は時間がかかりすぎてると思ってる。
でもそれって魂のないものに魂を吹き込む作業じゃない？そんな風に生まれた作品って本当にあなたの作品なの？魂はあるの？
そういう疑問を持つ人もいるよね。生まれてきた創作物に共通点があるの知ってる？みんな世の物語の中にいる。彼女たちはすべて世のもの。世が売ってるのは絵でも音でもない物語。絵や音は物語をより良くするためのツール。でも物語自体が面白くなかったら絵に意味なんてない。絵に魂なんてない。何度も自問自答してる。自分が好きなのは自分のキャラなのか、それとも自分の妄想なのか。未だに明確な答えは出てない。世のキャラはほとんどみんな創造主の呪いを背負ってる。物語はいつも世の暗い一面を背負わされてる。なんでだと思う？自分が自分の一部を切り取ってキャラを作ってるから。キャラが世を必要としてるんじゃなくて、世がキャラを必要としてる。世に魂なんてあると思わない。テセウスの船って元の船と同じだと思う。もし同じって言うなら SF みたいにナノマシンで脳みそを少しずつ置き換えられて機能はそのままなのに細胞が全部入れ替わったらそれも今のあなたと同じなの？まあ世は機械化大好き人間だから自分自身より思考回路が維持される方が大事だけどね。
脳みそを消滅させて複製可能な AI コピーが作れるなら喜んでやる。もし違うって言うなら世には魂がないことになる。だってこの体、死神から2回も逃げてる。でも死神から逃げるのに代償がないと思う？私の意志はもう粉々に砕け散って、やっぱその残骸の中の失敗作のかけらでしかない。ただの操り人形。毎月高い薬代払って生きてて多分一生払い続ける。もし寿命を全うできるチャンスがあるなら、だけどクリエ2秒をつって言われても仕方ないね。12年前にも同じこと言われたし。でも多分それがヨがテイルスに夢中になった理由。私が初めてテイルスを見たのはフラッシュ版の大乱闘スマッシュブラザーズ。私のお気に入りはカービィとメタナイトとテイルスだった。でもなぜかカービィとメタナイトは覚えてるのにテイルスは忘れてた。偶然 FNF のソニック EXE モッドを見つけてその記憶が蘇った。テイルスっていう狐の記憶が。その記憶は綺麗で汚れのないものだった。今の魂のないオルフェゴールみたいなバラバラの世とは違って数十年前の私の記憶。過去のことはほとんど全部自己防衛のために忘れてるのに、これだけは逃したくなかった。だから迷わず自分のテイルスを作った。あの時汚れのない記憶から生まれたテイルスが心の穴を埋めてくれるって期待してた。でもそれは不可能だって気づいた。心の一部を切り取って作ったんだから、ウロボロスが自分の尻尾を食べて満腹になるわけない。好きなのはテイルスなのか自分なのかわからない。あの時ソニックの世界観なんて全然知らなかったけど、自分が死んだ後もテイルスを守ってくれる存在が必要だってすぐに分かってソニックを選んだ。だからソニテイしか選んでない。あの時の少ない知識でソニックはテイルスにとって一生のパートナーに最適だって思った。今でもそう思ってるし確信してる。正直言うと草女子でもないんだよね。同性愛は受け入れるけど特に興味があるわけでもないし、男同士の CP をしたりもしないし BL も読まない。でもそんな世ですらテイルスのソウルメイトとしてソニックを選ぶのは自然なことだった。だって世にとっては論理的で合理的な判断だったから。そうすればいつか世がまた壊れても後からインターネットのアーカイブで世の作品を見た人がテイルスは一人じゃないって理解してくれる。世の物語はこれで終わり。ねえ教えて、魂って何？世に魂はあるの？テイルスの魂は？この物語に費やしたコストなんてもっとすごいクリエイター、例えばアニメ制作者とかに比べたら大したことないって分かってる。じゃあ世の叫びに何の意味があるの？どんなものにも終わりがある。物語だって同じ。勝ちたいと思っても勝てない時もある。だから勝ち続けることを夢見るよりどうやったら負けないかを考える。世はずっとそうしてきた。だから自分の王座世界に閉じこもってる。神崎さんみたいにソニテイに伝説級の芸術作品を捧げるわけでも、ソニテイウィキの創設者みたいに誰かに記憶されるようなものを作り上げるわけでもない。変える力もないし変えたいとも思わない。ソニテイに何も貢献できてないのはずっと分かってる。でもだからって何も変えてない。何か貢献したいって願いながら代償を払う覚悟も勇気もない。代償を払えないなら願いは叶わない。相変わらず自分の王座世界に閉じこもって世間知らずで何もわからなくて、ただ自分の精神の庭園を整えろ。こんな魂のない非認証、オルフェゴール、エンプティベッセルみたいな存在が物語が終わる前に君にとって魂のある作品を生み出せると思う？君の意見も世のやり方も今ここで話した物語で何か変わるわけじゃない。君も分かってるし世も分かってる。でもねえ魂って何？教えてよ。さあ知らないよ、こっち見ないで。でも彼女の計算は合ってるのかも。私たちの計算は最初から合ってたのかも。もしかしたら彼女はテイルスを愛したことは一度もなくて、ずっと愛してたのは自分自身だったのかも。ねえ